I was a junior in college and I was looking to go down the path of financial advising. And as I was doing my own personal research on what I would want to invest in, I started learning more about real estate. You know, brokerage is hard and it depends on where you go, but it may be better to go in-house somewhere and you're going to learn a lot.
I went first and worked for a small developer, and I got put on all the listings. And I was like, all right, here's my shot. And I called all the big brokerages and all the big developers that had tenant reps and all that, and made a name for myself.
Forget chasing single-family rentals. Let's build commercial portfolios. Collect the best insights and information from commercial real estate experts and industry heavyweights on this episode of the Rent Stew podcast.
Live from CREI Summit in Palm Desert, California, 2025. It's the Rent Stew podcast. I'm your host, Christian Cotta. And if you are looking for commercial real estate insights, information, the latest, the greatest, the brightest minds in the business, you're in the right spot. Because on this podcast, and especially here, live on set from the Summit, I'm bringing you some of the brightest minds in the commercial real estate industry. People that you need to connect with, that you need to know, that you need to network with, or just follow because you think they're really, really cool in order to help you with your investing, getting started in commercial real estate, or just learning how this game is played. And today, I'm joined by Caylie Bunce.
Yes.
I nailed it.
Yeah, I crushed it.
And
Both names, too.
Caylie and I just met via LinkedIn. And fun little fact, when we were talking about getting you on this, I dropped a nugget that blew your mind, right?
You did.
You were like, wait a second, what's going on?
How do you know that?
Yeah, I did a little research on Caylie and, was like, hey, I got to meet this person when I come out here. And that was a good icebreaker, wasn't it?
It was. You did your research.
Yeah. Little impressive. Yeah, respect for that. So, Caylie, I want you to share, you're a fairly new broker, right? How many years in the business?
About 3.5 years in the business.
Okay, so still new in commercial real estate years?
Exactly. I think the first 15 years you're still new.
Yeah.
Commercial real estate.
Yeah, and you came from Kansas University. That was the fun fact. Moved to LA.
Yep.
And jumped right into commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And you're a broker? I mean, agent, broker?
Yes, I'm a broker. I worked in-house for 2.5 years with a landlord and developer, and then I moved over to brokerage a little over a year ago.
Specializing in retail?
Yep, retail leasing.
A girl after my heart.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and what made you decide that you wanted to get into, commercial real estate coming out of college?
It was a unique situation, and I realized that that's not extremely common for a lot of people to realize. But I was a junior in college, and I was looking to go down the path of financial advising. And as I was doing my own personal research on what I would want to invest in, I started learning more about real estate. And so kind of took a deep dive into that, and I didn't know what commercial real estate looked like at all, or if that was something I was interested in. And I had a family friend that worked at Collier's in Kansas City, and so I met with him and his daughter, and I knew zero about commercial real estate, and they said, join ICSC as a student member and go into retail leasing.
They literally told you specifically what to do.
Yeah, I'm like...
They gave you the blueprint.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, bye. I'm like, what's ICSC? So I went home, purchased the $50 student account on ICSC.
Yeah.
And then I just selected Los Angeles, VP of Retail Leasing. And then I just sent out this email, like, my name's Caylie. I'm from Kansas. I want to move to LA. I want to go into commercial real estate, retail leasing, whatever that is. Left that part out. If I came out, would you meet with me for 10 minutes over coffee and just tell me a little bit about what you do? And the results were overwhelming. A lot of people said yes. And I lined up like 10 or 15 meetings when I came out.
ICSC?
No, I just came out to LA.
In LA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you knew you wanted, when you graduated, that you wanted to move to the West Coast.
Yeah, exactly.
LA was calling you.
Yep, I was.
The bright lights in the big city.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you knew you wanted to get into commercial, and you just put yourself out there.
Yep.
You got one little kind of kick in the rear, headed in this direction. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And you took full advantage of it.
Yep. So it was great advice by them.
And so you come out to LA and you find your future employer, the developer.
Yep.
Okay. And you had all these meetings.
Yep.
And so what was it that drew you to select that company, or how did that whole process work?
Yeah, I met with several different companies, and I was learning the difference mainly between working in-house and working at a brokerage,
Yep.
which was all new information to me, of course. And so this company, there was a salary involved. They would teach me, how to put a deal together, and there was a lot to work on very quickly because they own a lot of shopping centers. And so just connected with the team really well, and it really was more of a just getting to know each other. But while I was there, they said, we may have a job opening if you want to come interview while you're out here. So just connected really well, and I thought
it was a good fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Was there something about that drew you to go more for working for a developer straight away versus going the brokerage route, other than the fit?
I would say from all of the conversations I had and the advice I received, it was a common theme that these people would mention, brokerage is hard and it depends on where you go, but it may be better to go in-house somewhere and you're going to learn a lot.
This video is sponsored by SiteCRE.com, the smart site submittal platform for tenants, landlords, and developers. Site streamlines the entire site submittal process, from custom AI-powered submission portals to a tenant-seeking site marketplace that makes expansion fast, efficient, and targeted. At Hungry Investments, we use sites to validate sites we already control, target locations for specific tenants, and even identify tenants actively looking in trade areas where we're doing our due diligence. It's become an invaluable tool for our growth, and it can do the same for you. Check out sitescre.com, where smart growth starts.
Faster. And you can go in a brokerage, and there's plenty of people do that are very successful. Mm-hmm. But I felt like from moving across the country, and
you need a little more stability.
I was relying on my savings account, and I hadn't done real estate yet at that point at all. So
you went straight, so we have a lot of similarities, and I don't know if you're aware of this. So when I come from a real estate family, so it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But I fought the pull to go into real estate just because it was like mom and dad were like, you're going into real estate.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going to go do my own thing out of college. Well, I graduated when the internet bubble burst. I'm aging myself a little. But all the jobs I had got sucked away. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, I'm going into real estate.
I guess this is what I'm doing.
And there's no fighting that. And I didn't want to do multifamily, which is what my parents did. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to mess with tenants and toilets.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me figure this out. But I went first and worked for a small developer. Mm-hmm. And I got put on all the listings. And I was like, all right, here's my shot. And I called all the big brokerages and all the big developers that had tenant reps and all that, mm-hmm. and made a name for myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So do you see development in your future?
That's something that I do have a lot of interest in.
Seeing the inner workings of it?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to be involved in the entire process. And there's so much that goes into developments rather than just the transaction. And, the great thing about commercial real estate is you have the opportunity to, follow your path and see what happens. So I'm keeping my mind open for,
It's just funny that you just said that because I think over the course of this whole 3 days here, mm-hmm. we're going to be at 24 podcasts. And there's when you do that many in a short and condensed period,
yeah,
you see these themes that come up.
Right.
And the biggest one is really just there's a million different ways to get into this industry, and none of them are the same. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing that there's going to be different types of people that watch this. There's going to be different types of people that come across it and get drawn to what, the different guests that we have on here.
Yeah.
And I think from this interview and your perspective, for those younger, the younger people that are not sure. They think real estate, but they don't know because there's so many different things.
Right. It's overwhelming.
Commercial sounds great and amazing, and I do think that it is hands above, residential. No offense to anybody. You make, just for me,
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. It's more exciting, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, it's not just as simple like I'm going to go into it and I'm going to start selling commercial.
Right. You have to have patience with yourself. And there's so many different opportunities within commercial real estate that the only way to find out what you really like is to just get into it and get your
They say
feet
you have
wet.
to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah. To find the
Yeah. Or just, try a lot of samples. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, you kind of got lucky to, have somebody recommend, hey, retail leasing, and then you went and you loved it.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you kind of looked at? Any, different stuff that you've been like intrigued at, or you cool?
The retail leasing. They were spot on. Well, they said.
Well, it's net lease, baby.
Yeah.
Nothing but net.
Yeah, nothing but net.
Uh-huh.
They're like, when you go into leasing is the foundation for sales and development and acquisitions, and it's kind of the baseline for a lot of other
If you understand the lease, then you can the transactional component.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can always go to a different sector, but it's a really good foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They explained to me. And so maybe you stay in
you get
leasing.
really good at leasing.
Yeah.
You know how to prospect.
Yeah.
You know how to negotiate the document.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then the transaction is based on the values created based on the strength of the lease.
Yeah.
The strength of the tenant. The one part you have to learn if you want to get in development and why it makes sense to go work for a developer is all the stuff that you can't go find in a book.
Right.
Or like how to go through the government city approvals and the construction and juggling all those parts.
Once the deal's actually signed.
How long it takes.
Yeah. The timeline.
Yeah, digging in the dirt.
Mm-hmm. There's so much that happens after the deal is done.
This video is brought to you by SiteCRE.com, the smart site submittal platform for tenants, landlords, and developers. From AI-powered site submission portals to a tenant-seeking site marketplace, Sites makes expansion fast, efficient, and targeted. Check them out at SiteCRE.com. That's SYTESCRE.com and level up your site selection game.
Where you're working with these tenants to see everything through. It's just such a great experience.
You don't get paid when the deal gets signed.
No.
You get paid when the deal gets signed and all the contingencies are removed.
And they're open for business.
And then, so I mean, it's in parts. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that isn't on the forefront, just out there for you to necessarily see unless you're following people like us and, people in the industry that are putting the information out.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're at CREI Summit, right?
Yep.
Talking about people that, are into social, in our industry that are doing social media, that are using technology, trying to take all these things and enhance their business and get out in front of more people.
Yes.
What is how are you doing that? What are the benefits that you're finding from implementing some of this stuff?
I would say for me, LinkedIn has been extremely valuable.
Where we met?
Yeah, exactly. Where we connected, and it's a platform where you just have the opportunity to connect with so many people that, you wouldn't otherwise. And once I started posting pretty consistently and sharing if something's available or something's been leased, or sharing, we do the Acre SoCal event. So sharing these events, I thought maybe people are just scrolling on their phone and I'm posting because it's part of my goals to post more. But then you go somewhere like here and someone says, oh, I saw that event you hosted 3 months ago. That looked great. How many people went? And you're like, wow, people actually pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah.
And
a lot of looking.
Mm-hmm.
More looking than, clicking.
Yeah.
But that's one of the hidden benefits.
Right. So it just, people remember you that way, and
that's why they call them impressions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Making impressions.
Are there other are there other channels that you're putting yourself on that, you're seeing any kind of success or doing anything that you think is working?
Aside from LinkedIn, I also my personal Instagram is a little blended with business as well. Maybe at some point I'll separate that. But for me, a lot of the people in the industry are actually my friends and involved in, I want them to know what's going on in my life anyway. So I would say Instagram's another platform where I've really...
The third F that I've been talking about. Social media for commercial real estate is different. Helps us find deals, fun deals, but find fun people to do deals with.
Yes, find fun people. Exactly.
Yeah, tongue twister. Say it 3 times fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, I mean, you know, I think the older people in our industry get a little bit hesitant and nervous about, you know, technology and incorporating it because it's not hard, it's just new.
Right.
And, you know, they might look at you and say, well, you know how to do all this stuff. You know, you were born with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, how are you, you know, what are you seeing with AI? You just using ChatGPT, or are you incorporating other stuff with like retail leasing?
I use ChatGPT pretty consistently. I'm starting to learn more about, you know, at first when you're using ChatGPT, you're like pretty ahead of this.
Yeah.
And now there's so much more out there. Yeah, exactly. People are like, oh, that's cute. You're just using ChatGPT. Yeah. But I really love opportunities like to attend something like this where you have these experts sharing this information with you.
Yeah.
And it's one of the events we're doing for Acre SoCal in a few months too, is an AI panel where it's AI for dummies. Where
it is California, so you know there's some AI folk there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was easy to find them. But just explaining it to people where it's not super overwhelming and you don't have to do everything and, you know, be at the forefront of exactly what's changing right now. But like, here's 5 ways that this will help your business. And if you're not doing it, your competition is. So everyone has to get out of their comfort zone a little bit.
So if there's one thing some, you know, younger people are watching and want to get into this business, what is one piece of advice that you want to leave them in regards to helping them make a decision?
I would say the more people you meet and connect with, it's going to help make that decision easier for you.
Yeah.
And the great thing about this industry, my favorite thing about it, is the people and how much people want to help each other. And even if you're reaching out to someone on LinkedIn or getting their contact information from ICSC like I did, there's so many people that want to help younger people get into the business. And even if
the next wave.
Yeah. Even if you just say, I want to understand what you do. I don't really, you know, I'm not familiar. Can you tell me a little bit about your job? That's going to give more guidance than looking it up online or reading company websites. Just talking to people is like the best thing you can do to find out where you want to land.
Putting yourself out there, reaching out. So if you do think commercial real estate is something that you want to do, I couldn't agree with you more with Caylie that this industry has very much a go-giver attitude. And I think it has to do with the fact that it is a smaller community. I know there's a lot of asset classes. There's a lot of that stuff going on, but it's one of those things where, you know, when you start niching down and then like, you know, there's different subsectors and all that.
It's a dense community.
If you're interested in getting involved in commercial and you just have questions, every single person that we bring onto this podcast, there's a reason they're here, and it's somebody that you should feel comfortable enough to reach out to and ask your questions. I think Tina LaMonica was on here and said she tells people all the time, give me a call.
Yeah.
She got like 3 people that she's like, they had questions, and she's on, like, you know, setting up calls with them and helping answer questions.
Yeah, exactly. I love getting those calls, especially as someone that's younger in the industry, because that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to get insight from younger people too.
Yeah.
See, like, you know, it's more relevant.
Yeah.
And someone that recently went through the experience of getting into the business and finding what they wanted to do. So anytime someone reaches out to me, I'm always super happy to talk to them. And
so somebody wants to reach out to you, where do you want us to send them? We're going to put all this in the description down below, that you'll find all the links.
Connect with me on LinkedIn. DM me and I will reply.
We'll DM her on LinkedIn, and then if they don't have LinkedIn, can they go to Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Find Caylie on Instagram. We'll link that down below. And then do you have a website or anything you want them to check out? Like, you want to see how big of a retail leasing queen you are.
Yeah, that's for my LinkedIn has a lot of that information on it, but I would recommend checking out acresocal.com.
Okay, you got to plug your event.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we'll put that link down below too. And if you're in the SoCal area and you want to figure out commercial, or you got some interest, that would be a great event for them people to come to and learn about.
100%. There's 200 to 300 real estate professionals there, and if students reach out and just want to go meet with people, we'll give them a complimentary ticket and get them in the door and introduce them to some great people.
She wants to pay it forward, just like it happened for her. So Caylie, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Guess what, guys? It's that time. It's time to get down to business. If you're not following us on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. If you are subscribed, do us a favor. We appreciate you. We appreciate all your time that you're giving here and investing into learning about commercial real estate and sharing this with us. Share this out to anybody that you think might benefit from hearing these stories, who you think might benefit from some of the information that we share and helping them get to where they want to get to. Go ahead, smash that bell, give us a like, whatever all the new sayings are for YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, find me on LinkedIn, all those great places. Find all my guests there. Like I said, these are the people that you want to be connected with and networking with. So it's that time. Rent is due. Stay hungry, my friends. If you made it this far through and you landed here, it means you're serious about making money in commercial real estate. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already following for more great commercial real estate, and check out this video or this video. As always, stay hungry, my friends.